This is Math 7, notes for 3-3, and this is moving on to the second part. We talked about identifying and determining like terms in the previous video, which is super important. So now we're going to talk about writing these expressions in simplest form. And again, right from your notes or right from those vocabulary words, simplest form has three things or three requirements in order to be considered simplest. And that first one is that there needs to be no like terms. So looking at my first little example over there, I have 7x plus 9y minus 5x. The 7x and the negative 5y are like terms because they both have the same variables, x, and exponents of 1. So I can combine those like I'm adding 7 apples plus negative 5 apples. So 7x, or 7 apples, minus 5 apples, or 5x, would give me 2x, 5, 6, 7. So 2x plus 9y is the simplest answer. So in simplest form. The in doesn't need a dot next to it. There we go. In simplest form now, because I combined those like terms. Our second requirement for simplest form is that there are no double signs. And when we're talking about this, we mean between terms. Like we can have multiple subtraction signs, just not right next to each other. So if you notice here in this other example, you can see that I have a problem right here when I have this plus minus. I don't have any like terms, which is good, but I have those double operation signs there, which I need to deal with. So I'm going to carry down the 5a, carry down the minus b. Now here, which one of these signs would take precedence? Do I write down the plus sign or do I write down the minus sign? Which one of those is the same? Is plus a negative the same as just a plus or just a negative? And the answer to that is the negative. When you're dealing with a plus or a negative there, you're always going to carry down that negative. So this is now in simplest form. And the final third requirement for simplest form is that there are no parentheses. So here you can see that I have parentheses, and also I'm violating two of the rules here. I also have double signs. So I'm going to make a little note of that. Also double signs. And in this case, when I'm dealing with the negative and the negative together, that gives me something else. So minus 9y, first thing I'm going to do is drop the parentheses. Then that minus the negative nicely turns into a plus 5xy. And that is in simplest form. So that's going to be what we're looking at on your homework problems and for some more examples down below.